Hi everybody, my name's Brianna and today I'm doing the my first time tag. I've seen everybody doing this and I kind of love watching people do these videos. And I love how everybody starts videos, they're like, it's not that first time, and I'm just like, okay. I'm like, so, a part of me was kind of like, I kind of want to make it seem like it is, but I'm not that type of person. I'm just not. So, anyway, I have questions here from videos, and we're just gonna dive right into these questions. And yeah, so first question, do you still talk to your first love? Yeah, I do. I'm dating him, so yeah, I do still talk to him. Question number 2, what was your first alcoholic drink? Since I'm only 19 and it's illegal to drink, I don't do that. I'm only kidding. I think everybody kind of has like their first drink before they're actually 21. So my first actual alcoholic drink was actually at my graduation party last summer, and it was a wine cooler. I don't know what kind of wine cooler. It was just a wine cooler. Barely any alcohol in that. But yeah. What was your first job? My first job technically was a babysitter. And I really enjoy that. I mean, I have my CDA, which is a certification to be a preschool teacher, so I really enjoy that babysitting kind of job. What was your first car? I still have my first car because I just got it in February of this year, and it is a 2011 Hyundai Sonata, and I love that car. Oh my god, it's like the best car ever. It's the only car I've ever owned. Who was the first person you text today? I haven't texted anybody today. That's sad. It'll probably be my friend Crystal though. Yep. Who is the first person you thought of this morning? My boyfriend, because he's deployed. So yeah, I think about him all the time. Okay. Who was your first grade teacher? My first grade teacher was Miss Dowling, and I couldn't stand her because she was really, I suck at writing and reading, and she was kind of that teacher that really noticed that and really pushed me towards working hard on it, and I kind of felt like she was a hard grader as a first grade teacher, so I kind of was just like, I don't like her, she's always giving me bad grades, and yeah, that's what happened. Where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? I went to Florida to visit my grandparents in Florida. That sounds so lame. And it's weird because I don't like flying. Oh, I'm supposed to do that as well. My dog is being annoying. So, anyway, who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend ever was my friend Jessica, and she lived right next door to me, and yes, we still talk once in a while. She moved upstate in 2005, so it's kind of hard sometimes, to get together now. But yeah, we still talk. We're still kind of like this. We love each other. We're like sisters. Where was your first sleepover? At my friend Jessica's house. I think we were like 5 or 6 when I first left over her house. And yeah, it's always a lot of fun to have sleepovers. Who was the first person you talked to today? That means on the phone, no one. If it just means in general, who's the first person you talked to, it would be my dad. Because he was home. And yeah, I don't know. It was a boring conversation. Let's just go with that. Whose wedding were you in the first time? I have never been in a wedding. I've been at a wedding. The first wedding I went to was my cousin Steven's, and it was fun, I guess. I was 16, so it was kind of like, oh my god, this is what a wedding is like, and yeah. I loved their wedding. It was like an Irish theme because he takes humongous pride in being Irish, and it was cute. I kind of liked it. I mean, it's not something I would ever do for a wedding if I ever get married, but it was fun. Okay, I lost track of where I was. Oh, what was the first thing you did this morning? First thing I did this morning, which is going to be sad. I checked my iPad. I did. I was all like Twitter, Facebook, and all those social media sites. It's the first thing I do every morning. What was the first concert you ever went to? The first concert I ever went to was in 4th grade with my friend Shayla, and we went to go see Shania Twain. And for those of you who are like, who the friggin' hell is Shania Twain? She's a country singer. You need to look up some of her songs. She is amazing. I love her. Her songs are just amazing. Anyway, first broken bone. Never broke anything or sprained anything. I'm not athletic. I don't do this kind of stuff. First piercing would be my ears. They're my only piercing. If your ear, yeah, I'm just not one for piercings. Like, if your ears are pierced, I'm cool with that. Anything else, I'm like, why? Why would you put holes in your body where they don't belong? Yeah. First foreign country you've gone to? The first foreign country I went to was Canada. And I kind of loved it there. It was kind of cool, but there's an interesting story that goes with this. So my mom's like, let's go over to Canada. This is after 9/11. So, know one things, we don't have passports. We don't even have a note that my friend Jessica is allowed to be with us. So, the cop told my parents to walk over to the side, and he's going to talk to me and my friend. So we talk to this cop, and he's like, okay, you guys know him. You know them. And I don't know why this cop let us go through, because we were kind of kept staring at our parents, like, our parents, my parents with her, like, we kept looking over at my parents like, what the fuck is going on? And, yeah, so then the next day my mom's like, let's go back over to the Canada side of Niagara Falls. And I was like, my dad's like, alright, but we got lucky the first time, I don't know if it's going to happen again. And there had to be like a child missing or something. So every person that had a child was getting stopped. And so the guy, this was a completely different cop, asks my parents, do you have any paperwork that shows that this girl, Jessica, whatever, is your child or is supposed to be with you? And they go, no, we don't. And they're like, well, do you prove that any of that either one of these children are yours or are allowed to be with you? They go, no. So we had to walk over to the place where criminals kind of go when they try and cross the border, I guess you could say, and they asked for my parents' names, and they, you know, pulled up my mom's name, nothing came up, but because of my dad being stupid when he was younger, his name came up with a whole bunch of shit. And they called him over and they're like, well, either you could go back over to the American side and no questions asked, you can go to jail for about 4 or 5 days and wait till a judge can hear you, or we could just put you in jail for, you know, like us basically accusing you of kidnapping these children until we have proof that they're allowed to be with you. And so my dad's just like, yeah, F you, Canada. I'm not going to ever come back here. So my dad officially hates Canada, and now it's like this whole joke. I'm like, I'm gonna elope to Canada because you can't follow me there. Like, it's kind of like that whole joke because my dad's not allowed back in Canada. But otherwise, I loved it there. Yep. First movie you remember seeing. The first movie that I kind of remember seeing is The Lady and the Tramp, and I don't know why that's like the first movie I remember seeing, but I love that movie. It's so cute and kind of romantic, and oh my god, I just love that movie. I'm kind of obsessed with that movie. When it comes to their whole romance thing, when was your first detention? My first detention, like, I never actually had, like, you have detention. Like, I've had, like, once detention, and no joke, it was because I went to, I think, the counselor one day during my class, because it was like, yeah, they pulled me down there, so I just went. I was talking to my counselor, and I missed my teacher giving homework, and everybody I asked at class that day were like, I don't know. Yeah, I was like, did we have homework last night? They're like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And I was like, well, I have to do it, and because I had lunch before I had my science class, and this was in 7th grade, and she goes, well, do you have lunch detention? I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't go to that, so I was kind of like a badass in 7th grade. I was like, I'm not going, and I didn't, but she didn't do anything. I made up the homework. It was cool. Who was your first roommate? I still live with my parents, so I don't really have... I guess my first roommate is kind of like my parents. Or my dog sleeps in the same room as me. I guess my dog. I don't know. I still live at home, basically, so I really don't have a roommate. Then, what were the first lessons you ever took? I don't think I really ever took lessons. I mean, I took like karate classes, so I kind of took lessons for karate, and I took baton, so that was kind of like lessons. Those were kind of like my first 2 things. Baton came before, so I guess baton. I don't know. I really didn't do lessons. I wasn't one to be doing sports is what I'm trying to say. I really wasn't doing lessons. I never had an interest in it. Who was the first beauty related on YouTube you ever watched? The first person? I don't know. Well, she's not really like a beauty person thingy, but I mean, she does kind of talk about makeup and stuff. Would have to be Trisha Paytas. I don't remember her her channel name offhand. It's Blonde Sundal MJ4, I think. I'm not sure. Either way, it was Trisha Paytas. Search her name. And then there's 2 more questions, and I don't know how they're firsts. That's why I saved them for last. But if you had one wish, what would it be? This is gonna be like really corny. Like everybody's like, I guess I would wish for happiness for my family and friends. And I'm just like, no, because I can kind of care less. I mean, I care about my family. I'm not saying that, but I can kind of care less about that kind of stuff. I guess my one wish would be to have my grandma back, because I lost her 3 years ago to cancer, and I feel like ever since she's gone, my whole family on my mom's side has kind of just crumbled to everybody is just like fuck you type of attitude, and that's kind of how my attitude has been ever since she died towards my family. I'm kind of like, whatever, you go do you, I'm gonna go do me. If you want to criticize me, too effing bad, because this is my life. So the next question is, what is something you would learn if you had the chance? Something I would learn if I had the chance. I would love to learn how to play guitar. That would be absolutely amazing to me. And my neighbor, who I babysit for, took guitar lessons, and she's always playing, and my uncles play, and it's always been like my favorite instrument, and I've always wanted to learn, and it's kind of like that thing where I'm just like, I really want to, but I'm not sure if I'm going to, because you know how I used to take like a instrument in like 4th or 5th grade-ish, like in elementary school? Well, I took violin for 2 years, and I never practiced, because I didn't give a shit. So I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen with guitar. But yeah, those were all the questions. Those last 2, I don't know how they're firsts, but whatever. I guess because it's like, what was like the first thing you would think of? I guess you're not supposed to read them beforehand. So yeah, I guess it's like the first thing that's going to come to your mind. So yeah, I would really appreciate it if you give this a thumbs up, because I kind of enjoy doing this. It's a completely different type of video, and it's really showing you who I am. And yeah, subscribe, and all my links will be down below, and I would love for you to comment what some of your firsts are, and also the questions that I answered will also be down below. And yeah, I hope you had a good day, and thank you for watching. Bye!